Introducing, at UNLV's Thomas and Mack Center, Executive Vice Chairman, Freidel Barber.
All right, WFG. Amazing to be here today. I'm so honored and blessed to have a chance to share a message with you among such champions. This coming Wednesday will be 16 years since I bought my agent code for $100. And, you know, I think about it, and the value that I've been able to build through our team and through mentors has been beyond what I ever dreamed of or imagined when I originally started with this business. At 20 years old, growing up in Brooklyn, New York, the oldest of, New York is in the house, right? The oldest of 12 children to a Hasidic Jewish family, very, very segregated, type of community. And I always knew that I want something more, and I wanted to break out and do something great with my life. And so at 20 years old, I saved up a little bit of money and moved to California. And I thought I was going to pursue a degree in fashion design and do something on the creative side. But obviously, God had different plans for me. And while interviewing for a job to get me through college, I found WFG. And in a matter of weeks, I made a decision to quit college and do this business full time because I saw the value on where I could take this business to the next level. And it wasn't necessarily what I imagined it to be today, right? We put in hard work, but sometimes starting out, your dream could be a certain size. And as you work through in the business, that dream grows and compounds. And it's amazing because over the course of these years, literally, I've put things on my bucket list after they actually happen. And from being able to pay off $30,000 of credit card debt when I first started, to being able to travel the world, learn about money, help people save, help my own family save, build different types of investments, and help entrepreneurs in the financial industry, meet my significant other and be able to have 3 kids where we don't have to worry about money or time to be able to spend with them, and meeting the best mentors in the world to guide us to where we want to be, having the ability to build an amazing team, the world changers. And best of all, and it's funny because I didn't know how Dana was going to introduce me, but this was part of my message, which was the best thing was learning about personal growth, personal development, and understanding that that's a journey that's going to be your whole life. And it's really something that you want to commit to. And I know that I've done it, and I feel that I'm just getting started. I want you to think about your story, right? What is your story? What is the brand that you are now building? If we could bring my PowerPoint real quick. What is the brand that you're building with your story? And, you might think about, well, is your brand WFG? Is it World Financial Group that you're building? Is that the business you're building? Maybe it's Transamerica Financial Advisors, and you're working to build that brand. But if you think about it, really, the most important brand is you. You are the most important brand that you're building through that personal development. And that's what's going to be the thing to attract the people to you. And I believe it's made up of 3 aspects. The first one is what happens when someone meets you, and that's your image. The second one is what happens when someone gets to know you, and that's your character. And the third is what happens when you actually start working with someone, and that's the impact that you make. And so when you talk about image, we live in a society within the first 20 seconds of meeting someone, they've already decided what you're about, what you have to tell them, and whether or not they're going to do anything with you. And so what do you look like, and what are people seeing in that first 20 seconds? You see, in that picture, that was when I first started the business. I didn't necessarily look the part. I certainly didn't talk the part or have the knowledge about this type of business. But you know what? That's also somewhere that you have to develop. Making a decision that if you want to be perceived a certain way, you've got to look the part. And we are in the financial industry, right? So you've got to look like someone that people can trust in this industry. And I think that's very important, especially for people who are starting out. because you are being judged and you don't necessarily have the credibility yet that you need to prove, right? So looking professional. The other thing is your team is watching you. So what are they seeing? And they're going to copy that. And in today's world of social media, what does your online image say about you? Is it congruent with who you are in real person? And so now someone meets you, now they're going to get to know you. And that talks to the character. What does your character say about your brand? Are you a man or woman of your word? Are you someone that people can trust? If you give a commitment to do something, do you follow through? Even if it's tough sometimes, right? I remember early on in the business, I gave Elon Michael a commitment that I was going to be at every single BPM, because I was told that that's where you learn the business, that's where you build your business. And I said, I'm going to be there every single BPM. And there was one BPM where I was on my way and I had car issues, right? Anybody ever have that experience? Now I could have called Elon and said, hey, sorry, can't make it today. My car broke down. But I gave that commitment. And so I figured it out somehow, called a bunch of people, got someone to pick me up, and I made it to that BPM. See, a lot of times we say we're gonna do something and people are relying on us. Whether that's your leader who's counting on you to be there so that you can learn, maybe it's your business partner that's counting on you to help them, or maybe it's even a prospect that you have the power to change their life through your presence. So keeping that commitment is key. You know, we were made with 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? And that's the power of listening. In our business, that's very important because you got to listen to what it is that people need. And then is integrity, even at the lowest points. We know there's always going to be ups and downs in business. You've heard some of the incredible stories already of people that have gone through some things. But the question is not whether or not you're going to go through it. It's whether or not you're going to grow through it. Are you going to get past it? And are you going to make it for yourself something that makes you bigger and better? And even at those low points, do you still show up? Do you still do the things that you've committed to? Do you still make it happen for your family? Or do you use that as an excuse, right? A lot of times we take our whys and use it for reasons as why not to do something. I have 3 kids, all under the age of 4, and guess what? I make it happen. I show up every day because that's the commitment that you have, and that's your character and integrity. And lastly is your associations. Who do you hang out with? Who are the people that are influencing your mind? Who's taking up space in your head? And when we start out in the business, chances are it's not people who are going to lift us up, right? Most people don't have those type of associations. And I know I certainly didn't, but I learned really quickly that the people that I've associated with for my life up until I started WFG was not who was going to get me to where I wanted to go. So I put up some walls, right? And I let people know, hey, I can't talk to you for a little while. And that helped me definitely build my character. And then once I had that, I was able to talk to anybody. Lastly is the impact you make. This is now you're working with people. What are you actually doing? See, impact is created by action. You can't have an impact if you're not doing anything. And you could be brand new and still make a major impact, starting with your own family, right? What are you doing to change the legacy for your own family? Have you implemented the financial products you're learning about, right? Have you made that change? Have you done things that maybe are sacrificed right now, but later on are going to be something that's going to change your history? And, at the end of the day, when you're doing all these things, now you got to ask yourself, are you someone others want to follow? Are you that person that, now we have social media, right? The likes, the stories, but who cares about that if it's not happening for you? So the first thing in building your brand is building you. And then other people are going to want to be part of what you're doing. I believe that we have an opportunity here in WFG to leverage this platform to build an incredible life. It's greater than you think it is. You have the ability to make your dreams become a reality. We in this business are able to do things that most people, it's once in a lifetime, it becomes our lifestyle. And if you make the commitment to say, you know what, this is where I'm planting my flag, and I'm going to take action coming out of this convention to do whatever it takes to make it happen, you will change your legacy. You will have people following you. You will be able to create that brand, that image of yourself and also for others, where you could be that example and change the history of your family's life forever. So I'm fired up to be here. We're gonna have a great event. See you at the top.
Promise that you'll never find another like me.